Okay. So, what I like to do is, if you're facing the donkey square, you're more like a predator to them. So if you kind of turn your body away before you touch them, it's a little bit less threatening. And the most sensitive part of the donkey is going to be their hind legs or up by their front legs or face. The least sensitive part is their back. So that's where I like to start doing their touches. And I just rub them for a minute and then release the pressure. And donkeys are big thinkers, so you can see he's got his ear tilted towards me and his eyes looking at me. He's thinking about what just happened. And okay, it didn't hurt me. She didn't make me do anything. So far I'm safe. This is all good. Right? Right, Zeke? So if he were to walk away from me right now, let's see if I can get him to move. Because some donkeys will try to get away from you. I just keep the pole on him until he stops moving his feet, and then I take it away. If he were to turn his butt to me, I would try to kind of catch his eye. See how he's looking at me now? And try to move his butt away so that he can't kick me. We always want two eyes facing us. And donkeys are very accurate, fast kickers with a lot of reach. So always really be careful about those hind feet. Even when you're up by their shoulder and standing close, they can still get you. I know that from experience. And a lot of donkeys will like stand there and kick at the air when they're nervous. It's just how they're telling you, I'm uncomfortable, I don't know what's happening. So these beginning stages can be a little bit like watching paint dry, because we just do a lot of this. And since he's been pretty comfortable with it on his back, I'm going to start moving it up his neck. And that was really good. Good boy. You're kind of a calm one. I like calm ones.
And they like a lot of attention. Talking.
They do.
Talk to donkeys.
They also seem to like music, like the donkeys like Willie Nelson and music like that. They do. I swear they do. So I'm just going to kind of test out how tolerant he is to having things touching his hind end. And you can see right there with his ears and his eye and his lip got tight. Right there is about his threshold of where he's like, okay, you can touch me down that far, but after that, I'm a little bit worried. So you go as far as you think that they're comfortable to begin with. Okay, right there. And then you withdraw. You want to try and retreat before the donkey retreats from you. That's important. If they retreat from you, if you miss the cue, it's no big deal, but just stick with them and don't retreat until they stop moving their feet. And that was really good. So then you just keep working your way a little bit farther down each time, like go an inch farther and retreat. You're just really a good boy, aren't you? And you notice that I'm getting a little bit closer with my body as I do this. And he wants to sniff me, so I'm going to let him. And then I'm going to try and retreat before he does. That's his reward for checking me out, is that I retreat. Good. So this guy is unusually calm. Usually they're a lot more worried about all of this than he is. So front legs are kind of an oh-no spot, so that's all right. I'm just going to stay with it, and there he stopped moving.
Now your dog probably.
Yeah, they'll get used to it. You know, when people adopt these guys, they all have dogs and cats and kids. So the dog's not going to hurt him, and the donkeys have to get used to dogs being around that aren't coyotes or wolves or something that's going to come after them. Because donkeys are very protective of their herd and their space. And so they will run strange animals out of your yard. They'll keep the neighbor's dogs away. For sure. Good boy. So I'm always just kind of watching his eye and his ears and his body language. I can kind of tell when he's starting to think about shifting his weight away. And I want to try and retreat before he does that. I think I can get up to this guy without. And I haven't worked with these guys at all. I did one day just to kind of see what their personalities were like. What a good boy. So that I knew kind of what I had in store for me for doing the clinic. But they haven't had any handling. They were haltered in the chute. And if you ever pick up a donkey from the BLM, I would recommend having them haltered in the chute. And then to halter break them, I practice putting the halter on over their existing halter and taking it off. That way, if if they get away from you and decide you're never going to halter me again, you still have a halter on.
Where do you get those halters?
I order them online from Naughty Girls, and I've been really happy with their stuff. And I can get them wholesale, so maybe after the clinic I'll put a feeler out if anyone else needs halters. So the safest place to be is in front of their shoulder and as close to them as you can get. And this is really unusual. Wild donkeys don't usually just let you do this. So he's a very good boy. What a very good boy. Zeke, are you going to be my show donkey? Are you? Yeah.
So are any of these spoken for that you got to work with?
Just the mean old one. The mean old one has an adopter. We picked him because he's 26 and he looks like somebody chased him down with a lawnmower and ran him over. He's had his share of battles. And so the lady that's adopting him is a veterinarian, and she wanted to pick one that probably no one else would want. So.
Well, and yeah, that's probably kind of why he's that way, because of what he's been through.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
Their memories, they get away with something they never forget.
Well, and he's had his own herd for 26 years. He's used to defending his ladies, and you know, I had one that came through here, you probably remember him, George, that had been attacked by a mountain lion and survived.
Oh, yeah.
And he had such bad scarring all under his neck and down his legs from the mountain lion. And, you know, it's amazing that they can survive stuff like that. But donkeys are tough. And a mean donkey is one of the scariest things ever. So in the beginning, and he's being just super calm and really good, I just do a lot of, you know, touch him and let him think for a minute. What a good boy, aren't you? What a pleasant fella. How far back are you going to let me touch you? I kind of like to keep my hand up here on their withers because I can kind of feel, if I'm not looking at their face, I can kind of feel if he's starting to think about doing something. What a good boy. What a good boy. And that's a good point. You don't want to sneak around and, like, with Mustangs and burros that have not been handled, it's your nature to be like, I don't want to scare them because they're already scared. But if you kind of sneak up to them and touch them real soft and are really cautious, they think that there's something they should be worried about. So it's important to just be confident and just act like they're broke and walk up and, you know, pet them hard. Donkeys love to be scratched. Inside the ears is a good place. The hollow right above their eyes is a good place. Their mane and withers are usually pretty popular spots. So that's really good. So now I'm going to see if I can get him to give me his other side. So I'm asking him to move, and as soon as he takes one step, I'm going to release the pressure. That's to let him know that that's the right answer. That's what I want. Well, you're a terrible one to start with, because now the other ones are all going to make me look bad. You're such a good boy, aren't you? You are such a good boy. So I'm right up, I'm touching him with my belly, and that's partly for safety. Also because he just feels me, and it's good to touch him. But if you've ever stood and watched donkeys that are in together, when they're playing or being affectionate, they'll hang their heads and necks over the withers of the other one and hang out like that. It's kind of like they hug. It's so cute. But donkeys like that. When they're comfortable with you, they will seek that and want you to be kind of over their neck. So you're pretty comfortable with me, dude. I think we're going to be friends. I think we're going to be real good friends. Yeah. So that went super good. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the lead rope to him. Now, if he wasn't this easy, I would just keep doing what I started out doing until he was more comfortable. The big thing with donkeys is to not rush, not push. If you get into a push me pull you contest, you're going to lose every time, because they just shut down and plant their feet and it's done. So getting your donkey to eat treats is a good thing, because donkeys kind of like to know, is there something in it for me? Is it safe? And is there a reason behind this? Like, they really think like that. They're kind of like cats.